Hey there, brothers and sisters. Once again, it's Rex Beardsley. This is Learning Mormon Principles, and I am your host, Rex, and I will be having the distinct honor and privilege of reading the scriptures with you today, and to continue to get that insight. And for those just tuning in or who don't know what this channel is about, this is called Learning Mormon Principles. It is all about a heretofore front-to-back read-through of the Book of Mormon and how it serves as an additional witness or another testament of Jesus Christ. In the previous video, we read out of chapter 8, verses 1 through 13, and now I'd like to pick up on verse 14. And this is Lehi continuing to speak concerning his dream. Verse 14 says, "And I looked to behold from whence it came, and I saw the head thereof a little way off. And at the head thereof I beheld your mother, Sariah, and Sam, and Nephi. And they stood as if they knew not whither they should go." Obviously, this is clearly a reference to the fact that although Sariah and Nephi and many others supported Lehi in his prophecies while in Jerusalem and abroad, that it still took Lehi a portion of his effort to bring Nephi, Sam, and Sariah unto the fold. And let me continue to read before I expound more on that. Verse 15 says, "And it came to pass that I beckoned unto them, and I also did say unto them with a loud voice, that they should come unto me, and partake of the fruit which was desirable above all other fruit." This is what I was talking about when I said I'd get back to that topic. He said he had to beckon them to come unto him, which means that, as is the order of God in all things, the father leads the way. He's the patriarch of the home, the holder of the priesthood. And verse 16 it says, "And it came to pass that they did come unto me, and partake of the fruit also. And it came to pass that I was desirous that Laman and Lemuel should come and partake of the fruit also. Wherefore I cast mine eyes toward the head of the river, that perhaps I might see them." 18. "And it came to pass that I saw them, but they would not come unto me and partake of the fruit." Obviously, there's an ulterior motive that's distracting Laman and Lemuel from wanting this. We're going to find out what that is here very, very soon. Verse 19, "And I beheld a rod of iron, and it extended along the bank of the river, and led to the tree by which I stood." Now, for quick and upfront clarification, all these dreams and all the items discussed in the dreams are representative of certain things. Nephi explains them more in detail later, but I need to at least clarify that primarily first, the fruit that he speaks of, that is whiter than any whiteness he had ever seen before, is the love of God. And the iron rod, which was the handle which people would have to hold on to get to that tree, was the Word of God. In the church, we have a hymn called "The Iron Rod," and one of the verses explains that the iron rod is the Word of God. "'Twill safely see me through." So that Word of God is what we have to hold firm unto. We know how hard-hearted Laman and Lemuel were, brothers and sisters. So if they were that hard-hearted, it really means that not at any point were they truly convicted in their heart. Yes, we know through our readings already that they've been shocked, that they have seen an angel, that the power of the Lord has been made manifest in the seas, from the trip from the Arabian Peninsula all the way to the New World. There's just so many things that Laman and Lemuel saw that they should have convinced them, but did not. That being said, let's move along. Verse 21. And I saw numberless concourses of people, many of whom were pressing forward, that they might obtain the path which led unto the tree by which I stood. Numberless concourses, brothers and sisters, that means beyond counting. You could not hope to number them. And I'm fairly certain that only the Lord himself has a number large enough for that. Verse 22 says, And it came to pass that they did come forth and commence in the path which led to the tree. And it came to pass that there arose a mist of darkness, yea, even an exceedingly great mist of darkness, insomuch that they who had commenced in the path did lose their way, that they wandered off and were lost. Brothers and sisters, that dark and dreary wasteland, that mist that comes up over things, is the world and the teachings of and philosophies of men that sometimes are well enough put to confuse man or to help hide the truth. And in those situations, those are the ones whom the scriptures are referring to when they say that they're bound by the chains of the devil, and yet they don't know it. And they won't know it until it's too late, unless they humble themselves. Verse 24 continues on by saying, And it came to pass that I beheld others pressing forward, and they came forth and caught hold on the end of the rod of iron. And they did press forward through the midst of darkness, clinging to the rod of iron, even until they did come forth and partake of the fruit of the tree. Okay, so again, God's love, the iron rod. They hold on to the iron rod. They make it through the midst of darkness. They get to partake of the fruit, which all we already discussed was the love of God. And what happens next is somewhat perplexing to me for somebody who has had the truth. Verse 25 says this, And after they had partaken of the fruit of the tree, they did cast their eyes about, as if they were ashamed. Scriptures speak of in the last days men's hearts will fail them, and they fear man more than God. Well, how is this so, and by what means is Lehi referring to? Let's continue on. Verse 26 says, And I also cast my eyes round about, and beheld on the other side of the river of water a great and spacious building, and it stood as it were in the air, high above the earth. Any takers on the hint yet? No? Okay, hold your thought. 27, And it was filled with people, both old and young, both male and female, and their manner of dress was exceedingly fine. And they were in the attitude of mocking and pointing their fingers towards those who had come at and were partaking of the fruit. Boy, do we ever see this throughout our lives. This was such the case when I was growing up in high school. For anybody to speak out and say that they were a Latter-day Saints was a means of suffering great deals of persecution. And it caused some people I know to have shunned the gospel altogether because of the shame of the world and how awful it made them feel. Let's see. 29. And now I, Nephi, do not speak all the words of my Father. So we've now read verses 14 through 29, brothers and sisters. There is going to be one of those three-part series, and that's coming up next. But stay with us, brothers and sisters, and if you could, please rate down here. Click vote yes, and then comment. Come on back.